This video is about Microsoft 365 administration. So we are going to learn some Outlook settings. If you recently left a company or just want a clean setup, I'm going to show you how to remove old Outlook profiles and properly mount your own Microsoft and Gmail accounts into Outlook Classic on Windows 11. Of course, this will bring everything into one place and leverage your productivity. I don't work for this company anymore. I want to add another tenant by doing a completely new setup. So this is the Outlook Classic version, not the newer version. So to check the Outlook version properly, we'll go to Office account, and here is the version 2602. This is the Outlook Classic version, not the newer version. Now, in order to do a completely fresh setup, to remove this account and mounting another new tenant or account, there is a way you can do it quickly. If you go to options, account settings, and then you can remove it from here. There is a key difference we need to understand. If I remove from here, it will only going to remove the account. The OST file, that means Office storage table, the local cache copy will still exist in this machine. That can be happen when you just removing or replacing one account. But in our case, I don't work for this company anymore, so I don't want that anymore. I would like to mount my own tenant, my own Microsoft account, and I want a fresh setup. So control.exe, and then I'll go to Mail, Microsoft Outlook, and then I'll hit Show Profiles, and this is the existing profile. I can hit Properties. The correct way to mount a new tenant, you must not delete the existing profile first. So if you are an active employee, never delete your existing profile right away. That is not recommended because you don't have any fallback accounts. What happens if you're locked out or something goes wrong? You don't have any fallback accounts to do anything. So it is always better you add a profile first, give it a name XYZ, then your name, email address, password, okay, and then do the testing if the mailbox loads properly, and then remove the old one. That way you always have a working fallback account. But in my case, I don't have any access to this account anymore, and I don't need any fallback accounts. So this account has zero effect on me right now, so I can delete it. And Outlook will immediately force me to start from the scratch by inputting my new tenant or mail address. I can safely delete right away. Anyway, let's follow the best practice. I've given a name, my name, and then I'll type the password here. Now at this screen, you might be wondering why I am putting a password here. Am I using the old legacy method for sign-in or authentication? The answer is no. This is Outlook's initial setup screen. Once I click next, I will be redirected to secure sign-in page using modern authentication like Microsoft or Google login with SSO and MFA. Also, some of you might be confused because in many companies that I have worked, they don't actually have a password directly for their Outlook. Some might say, hey, I don't have any password for my Outlook account. It is just sign you in automatically or opens login window. That's because the environments use single sign-on, so you're already authenticated through your work account. That means accounts, then access work or school. I don't have it right now, but once you have it here in that machine, you are already authenticated. You don't need a second authentication here. In my case, I am just starting the setup from the scratch. So Outlook is showing this basic screen first, but the actual secure login will be happening in the next stage. And also for this manual setup, that's only for advanced scenarios where you manually enter server settings like IMAP or SMTP. For modern accounts like Microsoft 365 or Gmail, always use the automatic setup like the way I am doing it. It's faster, more secure, and fully supported. So let's hit next. See here, the actual authentication is going to take place. Now here is the MFA. I definitely have the MFA configured in my Google Authenticator. Somebody may have Microsoft Authenticator app. Now at this screen, it is asking if I want to connect the device to my account. If I click yes, it enables single sign-on for all Microsoft suites like Microsoft Teams, OneDrive, Outlook. They're all going to use this account. I have single sign-on enabled, right? But if I click no, I'm limiting for Outlook only. Since it is my computer and this is my business, I would say yes. This device is going to be registered in my Microsoft Entra ID. We used to call it Azure before. Next. So right now it is using Autodiscover to find the correct mail server settings automatically. So I don't have to enter anything manually. That unencrypted message here is just a part of the discovery process. It will switch to secure once it finds the right setting. When I said I don't have to type anything manually, that means you don't have to type mail server like Exchange, IMAP, or SMTP, port number like 443993587, encryption like SSL, TLS, domain server names, etc. It should find Autodiscover, but hey, we are hitting a snag here. The Autodiscovery failed. And it is kind of common with the new tenant or new business. It happens when the domain is not fully configured in the Microsoft 365, or missing DNS record, or mailbox not created, or maybe license not assigned. So let's do some troubleshooting. This is really going to be cool because this is Microsoft 365 Autodiscover troubleshooting. Basically, we are validating how Outlook discovers and connects to your mailbox automatically by checking license, domain, DNS records. This is real world skill, so you can put even in your resume exactly how email issues are troubleshooted in production environment, in enterprise environment. So this is the 365 tenant admin center. The first thing I'm going to check if the account has a valid license. It has the 365 business basics, so license part is okay. That means mailbox is active. Second thing, settings, the health condition of my domain is healthy, and this is the legacy on Microsoft. That is for each tenant. Microsoft gives it automatically. Both are healthy. I have configured my DNS from the Namecheap, so I'll go there. I'll hit my domain, advanced DNS, and these are my DNS record. Okay, we found the exact issue. The MX record is missing. MX is for mail exchange. That is the email routing record. Is basically the delivery address for my email system. So imagine somebody is emailing into my email address, which is this one, but before it come into my mailbox, it is asking the internet, where should I go for this email address? And then the answer comes from the DNS. Hey, for Nia Jarifin, for this, you should go exactly in the Microsoft mail server. And precisely, it is the MX record in your DNS, exactly which is missing here. If the MX record is set to Microsoft 365, it will say delivered all email for this domain to Microsoft mail server. But in my case, what is happening right now, that I have successfully created the mailbox, license is assigned, domain is healthy, but when Outlook tries to configure the account using Autodiscover, meaning automatic mailbox locator, when it's trying to get a verification from this DNS record, it sees the MX record is missing. Reason why? Autodiscover is failing here. Okay, let us now learn how to add the MX record in your DNS. So I'll go back to Admin Center, Settings, Domains, techprospera.com, DNS record. Let's understand what to copy and why we need to copy. So this is the MX record. If I click here, I should copy this, and the priority is 0, meaning Microsoft will be the server that will receive my emails, not any other mail server. Host is @ that means exactly techprospera.com, not any other subdomain. And TTL 1 hour, meaning DNS server will remember this record for 1 hour before checking again. As an example, if I fix my MX record now, Outlook email system may take up to 1 hour for fully work everywhere, right? So let's copy this. While different domain provider like GoDaddy and other domain marketplace, they have slightly different options, but in Namecheap, it is not under host record, but under mail settings. And then you will hit the arrow and then custom MX. I have registered my MX record here, mail exchange record. Okay. Well, after fixing the MX record, still Autodiscover fails. Okay, let's hit next and see what happens. Well, I think it tried to re-authenticate against that MX record, and this time it found, and Autodiscovery is successful. What we did was a real troubleshooting validation. What if we're troubleshooting for a client? Since I have already checked the backends, like all these steps, that's why hitting next fixed the issue. But for a real client, if you're facing this issue, do exactly what I have done. You have to check for MX record, the health condition of your domain, licensing category, mailbox status, etc. This is how exactly engineers troubleshoot in production network. All right, I'll hit finish. And now we can delete the other profile. Yes. And by creating this profile is not automatically going to mount in your Outlook. We have to hit apply and select this profile here. Okay. And let's kill Outlook with all its child process. We can say force Outlook Let's reopen start outlook.exe. Let's see what happened. All right, it is successful, and these are all the shared mailbox that I have accessed, so it is showing up here as well.